Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight UK Season 8, Episode 21 and 22. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. I am sick. I don't know if you can see it, but I can definitely feel it. And hopefully I don't sound as sick as I feel. But let's go through what happened on episode 21. So JJ and Ella are entertaining the idea of having a relationship together. And to the people in the comments who keep asking, does JJ know that she's trans? JJ knows. JJ knows that she is transgender. I felt like this was established some weeks ago, but it keeps getting asked. JJ knows. JJ is still attracted to her. Okay. So Sean and Mark are, this is the commitment ceremony, by the way. Sean and Mark are encouraged not to make assumptions about what the other person is saying. As we know, on the honeymoon, Mark thought that Sean was being very negative about the relationship when really he was just trying to say, you know, you never know what could happen in the future. So let's just be prepared that things might not pan out the way that we want, or they could pan out the way that we want. Then we have George, who feels like Peggy isn't attracted to him. Well, I don't know if she says this, but in my opinion, I feel like it's the whole man-child thing that she's not attracted to. Because in the beginning, she was very attracted to him. She wanted the tall, dark, and handsome kind of guy. Like, she was very attracted to him on a surface level. The more she got to know him was the more she started to question her attraction to him. And it has to do with the whole, what he does as a career and all that. We're going to get into that in episode 22. The next couple on the couch is Ross and Thomas, who are happy that things are going well. They have been more intimate. It's not super frequent, but at least it is present. Then we have Adrian and Matt, who share that they both have felt misunderstood by other people because of their upbringing. Like, they both have parents with disabilities, and some people just don't understand how they had to grow really quickly and stuff like that. So they appreciate that they both have that in common with each other. And then we have Ella. Ella talks about knowing that Nathaniel was never attracted to her, which we saw, right? And as she's talking about how her journey has been, Bianca pipes up because Bianca's not here for this whole sugarcoating of this relationship.
Nathaniel told me that you had been texting JJ, and then she bombarded him with loads of messages.
So I'm curious, at this point, JJ, have you disclosed to your wife that you're exchanging text messages? No. Okay.
Dickhead. You should have just told me.
Yeah, but it was taken away from me by Nathaniel doing that, which is fair enough.
He shouldn't even got to that stage.
I was trying to shut my feelings down. I was trying to suppress that because I didn't want this exact situation to happen.
Bianca, honey, like, I'm on your side, but let's not act like JJ was being harassed. JJ, to my knowledge, was not being harassed. He reciprocated interest in Ella. Yes, Ella might have initiated communication, but he continued communication. After this whole debacle, Ella was essentially dismissed because Nathaniel already made the choice about their relationship. Basically, he's gone. So your relationship is done. Now, if you guys saw the preview of episode 23, some people on Discord were saying that it looks like Ella and JJ are gonna come back as a couple. I hope not. Like, I'm so tired. I feel like this just goes against the whole premise of the show. I understand sometimes they have let it go, and sometimes I've also been like, I kind of wanted to see where that relationship went. But for Ella and JJ, I'm just like, it kind of further emphasizes what Nathaniel was saying, and that Ella was here to tell a story rather than be in the experiment equally like everybody else. I feel like if they bring her back, that further emphasizes that opinion of his. So yeah, it is what it is. Laura says that even though her friends aren't too much of a fan of Arthur, she feels like she's never been seen in a relationship in the way that Arthur sees her. And so she really appreciates that. Then we have Tasha and Erica, who are going back and forth because they have a different perception on the beef that they've been having.
I'd heard Erica say a few things like, oh, they're the strongest couple.
It was just an observation I made.
Right.
And it was in that conversation that I first picked up on there was a vibe.
She actually wanted to go in and try to talk to Erica, but she thought she got a cold shoulder.
I'm not going to come up to her and be like, oh my God, hi, how are you? When after what the last thing she'd said to me.
We're playing victim now.
Here's my thing. I can see the things that Tasha is saying annoys her about Erica. But at the end of the day, I still don't think that the reaction matched the action based on what we saw. It is very possible that more things happened, but based on what we saw, I did feel like Tasha did a little bit too much, okay? I do appreciate that Paul is doing this whole sticking as a united front thing in front of company, but Paul, I hope behind the scenes he is telling her, listen, you got to get it together because you're doing a lot. Somebody DM'd me and they said, did you notice that we didn't get to see Tasha and Paul's family? I didn't even notice that. So that's interesting. I wonder why we didn't get to see any of their family or friends. But yeah, Tasha, come on, girl. I really like Tasha, but she's making it really hard. I hope that they can squash this whole thing because it's kind of childish to me. And the funny thing is, a last point about these two, I always look at somebody in an interesting way when they see problematic behavior and they don't think that it's going to show up in their own relationship. I feel like the way somebody treats other people is potentially how they could treat you. So if I was Paul, I'd be taking note of that. Like, okay, she can get very snappy at the mouth when she doesn't get her way. That is just something that I would be paying attention to. Erica and Jordan feel like they're still the strongest couple. All right. Okay. Then we have Jay and Luke, who are struggling with the distance, but they are encouraged by the experts to just live in the moment and worry about the distance later, because your bond is going to be stifled if you're two in your head right now, but your bond could be very strong by the end of the process to where you're going to find a way to work through that issue, you know? Then we're on to episode, last is Bianca and JJ. Bianca has some final words for JJ. Basically, she's done with him. She thinks he's disgusting. She's not a fan of Ella. She's not a fan of nobody. And she lets them have it.
He still wanted what he's going back to, which is someone like Ella.
I didn't know. I can't help how I feel.
I feel like you're just thinking with your dick. I don't want to speak to you right now because I feel like whatever you've got to say is irrelevant to me currently. I just deserve so much fucking better, and I'm done.
I'm with Bianca. I definitely feel like JJ already knew what his type was and was selling himself a dream, thinking that he could just switch it off like that and just all of a sudden be into a girl that isn't his typical type. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Now, Bianca feels as if JJ was not trying in this process. I think that at the beginning he was. I personally think that he was. His failure was not being transparent with Bianca whenever he switched off. Because there definitely was a shift in this relationship, and he took his time letting Bianca know when everybody else but Bianca already knew. She thinks that he's thinking with his dick, and even Paul the expert, his name is Paul, right? Even Paul the expert is like, yeah, you are. Because JJ is asked, what is it about Ella that you feel strongly about? In my opinion, he didn't give any substantial reasons. He was just like, I don't know, I just feel this way. So you're thinking with your dick. You can't quantify what it is that draws you to this person. It must be sexual attraction. Like, come on. But anyways, they decide to leave the experiment. Ella's also leaving. So that's 3 people who have left tonight, but they may be coming back. We don't know. This week is love-hate week. A good portion of it just felt like hate week, but let's get into it. The first couple to get into it is Tasha and Paul. Tasha says that she's going to work on her affection because she's not very outwardly expressive when it comes to interest in Paul. They don't really cuddle too much. They don't really kiss too much, and he wants that kind of reassurance. She said she's going to work on that. I'm with him. He said, if I have to constantly ask for it, it feels like I'm begging. You don't want to beg. You don't want to beg for affection from your partner like that. Yeah, no, that's long. Roz wants Thomas to be more freaky with her, while Thomas says she doesn't even initiate any physical intimacy. So yeah, I'm looking at Roz like, girl, now how that makes sense? You want the man to use toys on you and all this stuff, but you don't even initiate sexual intimacy? It's a bit of a contradiction if you ask me. But anyways, Thomas later on shopped for some sex toys I'm not going to get demonetized, so I'm not going to show you that clip. But they really showed us the toys. Wow. They're going to have a great time. Okay. Then we have Laura and Arthur, who are struggling with his lying and her mood swings.
Getting upset, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I fundamentally disagree. It's ridiculous. Like, that's rubbish. We're not doing that one because I don't have mood swings. He is prone to telling these little white lies, and this is classic Arthur behavior.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but was that not a mood swing? Looked like a mood swing to me. Okay. I'm with Laura in saying that she's not here for the white lies. But I don't think this was a lie. I think this was a truth. Okay. We were also talking on Discord, sharing our frustration about Arthur, because I feel like Arthur is just so used to being coddled. You know, this is going to come up later on, this whole coddling thing. But to me, he acknowledges the things that are pitfalls for him, but I rarely see him doing the work to be better. Not even just for the relationship, but for himself. He constantly falls back on the, oh, I used to lie a lot as a kid. Okay, but you're an adult now. You don't have to lie like this anymore. Like, what are we going to do about your pathological lying? Like, at some point, you've got to grow out of that, you know? But we'll talk about that more later. Peggy took the hate portion of the love-hate week really seriously.
Your career aspirations. I don't want a dreamer. You're the most confident yet insecure person. Who is the real George?
I knew that the online content was going to come up. She is very particular.
It's humiliating. Why would you do that? It's weird.
So according to Peggy, she feels like George lacks ambition. And we were also talking about this on Discord, if ambition was the right thing to use. I personally don't think that it was. I do feel like she, at the core, just doesn't respect what George does as a career. And so for her, she's deducing that as, oh, well, he must not have ambition, when it really is just that you don't understand what he does, and you might put more weight and more respect on other career paths, like maybe healthcare, service work, whatever. But online content creation, especially this whole doing tasks for bids and stuff, it just might not be something that she respects. Let's make it simple like that. She doesn't feel like he's being very authentic, and I would agree with that. He also admitted at the beginning of the season that he puts on this macho front as some kind of defense mechanism. So he was kind of pushing back on like, no, this is who I am. Like, this is my true self. But I'm like, you yourself admitted that you wear a mask. So I don't think she's far off in pointing that out. And then with her, he thinks that she is judgmental, and I would say that she is. She also admitted that she is judgmental. That is something that she can work on. The worst part about it is that the people in her family also encourage that behavior. They are also judgmental. So I don't think she has enough people in her life who call her out on these little, is idiosyncrasies the right word? I don't know. These little quirks of her personality, because everybody in her circle is like that. So I'm glad that George called it out, because she definitely needs a mirror to see that you are not perfect yourself, Miss Peggy. Our resident strongest couple, is not as strong as they claim to be.
It's hard to communicate with you because your way is like not really communicating much. I think that you think you're better than me.
Do I make you feel like that, or is that how you feel deep down? Because I'm very,
this is a prime example.
You're diverting the whole fucking conversation.
I've not diverted.
So tell me
I've not
why
diverted
you feel like that.
I've just told you.
I definitely feel like there's some entitlement that comes from Erica, 1000%. 1000%. How she responded to this conversation also emphasized that for me. She does have an air of, I am better than you. And even though I disagree with Tasha's reaction, I can understand where the reaction was coming from towards Erica, because Erica is doing this whole like, we're the strongest, we're the best here. All the girls are jealous of me because I'm pretty, and I'm like, there's an arrogance that comes from Erica. And it's further emphasized when this woman says, I took the time before the process to become a better person. And essentially she said, it's not my fault that you didn't do that. Like, you needed to work on yourself before coming here. Like, that is very entitled. That kind of personality would definitely rub me the wrong way as well. Things did get better for them. Later on, all the couples are doing what they like about each other. They're talking about what they like. And then he said that he liked how she was so caring. And she said that she liked how he always has her back and stuff like that. However, when they were having a conversation with the other couples, she kind of threw him under the bus, saying like, oh, he thinks that I think I'm better than him and all this stuff. And all the women were just rooting for her like, oh, Erica, you're not that way. Oh, Erica, we love you. Just a whole lot of bootlicking. And I'm thinking to myself, you appreciate how he protects you, but I don't think you protected him here. And that is something that you could work on. But anyways, Jay and Luke, their dislikes for each other. Jay thinks that she doesn't share enough, and I agree. I keep forgetting who's who. Luke thinks that Jay doesn't share enough, and I agree. And then Jay, good Lord, thinks that Luke is a little bit too open. He's an oversharer. It's so interesting to me how she doesn't really want to stand her ground too much when it comes to Luke, but how are you going to build an authentic relationship if you're not being honest with yourself? Like, it's great that you acknowledge that you're a people pleaser, but that doesn't work in a relationship. You can want to please your person, but you still need to be authentic to yourself. Then you have Luke, who wants to be told off. And to me, I'm just like, now, why do you want to be told off? I understand you wanting her to be real, and if she doesn't like something, to speak up about it. But it's like he literally wants to be yelled at. So a conversation was sparked in Discord, and some people think that maybe he has a shame kink? I don't know. But yeah, Luke needs a little bit more stern talking to. So yeah, give him a stern talking to, Jay. I don't know, maybe he'll like that. So the love part of Love Week has Thomas saying that he loves Roz's honesty. Tasha likes Paul's love for his family. Luke likes that Jay is a sociable person. Arthur likes Laura's kindness. And we deduced on Discord that he probably meant to say patience, because he was like, every time I do something wrong, you just tell me it's okay and you don't make me feel bad about it. And I'm like, yeah, because you're being coddled. I feel like everybody in Arthur's life treats him like a little baby bird. And not that he should be attacked, but I feel like at some point you've got to grow out of some of the behaviors that Arthur has been exhibiting. To me, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, he needs to grow out of the lying. He needs to, I don't even know if you can consider this a lie, but he asked for Laura to work out with him more because that's important to him, to be like a fitness couple. But then she was running circles around him in the gym. I don't know. Yeah, this man doesn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is, child. Okay. Before George and Peggy could get into their loves, they still wanted to talk about their hates for each other. And so Peggy finally gets to see the video of George and what he does for work.
So how'd you feel after that?
Sick. You've got one of them.
I know I did.
At least I hope you got one of them, because at the moment I'm looking at this and thinking you ain't got one of them. No, but that really isn't funny.
Just because you don't find it funny doesn't mean it's not funny. Is it porn?
Right, lovely.
No. Is it adult content?
I know.
No. It's literally fitness.
Now listen, would I be able to be with somebody who is streaming to people who are paying him to hike up his little booty shorts and start squatting to the camera? No. But I would have left as soon as I heard about it and as soon as I realized, oh, this is not for me. So the fact that Peggy is still in this process, and it could be the producers are keeping her around, it could be that this is the only thread of a storyline that they could put together, fine, whatever. But it does annoy me that she's still here harping on something that she can just decide is not for her and leave. Like she's embarrassed at the fact that he's become the laughingstock of her family, because everybody knows, everybody's seen the video. I highly doubt this is the first time she's seen the video as well. There's just no way. But I'm like, you now like chirping at him all the time about it. It's just, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's judgmental. It doesn't really progress this relationship. I just don't understand what the point is personally. With George, it's unfortunate that his partner doesn't respect what he does for work, but honestly, I feel like that should be your cue to also pick up and leave. You're feeling unsatisfied sexually. You don't feel like there's actual attraction there. She doesn't respect you in your career. What are we staying for? I don't know. So it is what it is. Next episode, there's going to be a getaway, and apparently things are going to just kick off. So I'm excited to see where things go from there. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.